From outer space to in your face, aliens walking among us tonight on the Six Ad Cast.
As I live and breathe, it is a Six Ad Cast for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. My name is Nick, and I'm joined on my left by my good friend Manuel.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And my fiance on my right. Her name is Sarah.
Hi.
We are in the month of April, and we are so deep into this whole social distancing quarantine thing. Manuel, how are you faring?
The coronavirus is not winning. Donald Trump said that he is a wartime president, and I believe him. You know, this is an invisible enemy, and we are at war. We just can't see him.
That is true. We cannot see little molecules like that, virus strands. We can't see it with the naked eye.
Yeah.
So he's not lying.
Bro, I laughed when he said he really did say that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a wartime.
I know. Yeah. I've been watching the, last week tonight, and then I've been watching The Daily Show
Did
on
you
the
see
Daily.
how mad he got?
Which
John
one?
John Oliver.
Oh, yeah. He's getting, he's having it. If he, he would probably pull out his hair and enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff that he's saying.
Did he say for fuck's sake or for...
Oh, he said that many times.
Yeah. There was one... No, but there was one where I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Me and Sarah have been... Well, mostly me. She kind of sits by and just kind of listens. But yeah. I've been trying to keep up with the news more than what she does.
And I appreciate him for that, but I just don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, I understand.
It's too much for me.
It is. It is scary. But yeah. A lot of the stuff that Trump has said, I've been just I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you.
Didn't he? Never mind. We're not talking about Trump the whole time.
Before we hit record, you were over here playing a gambling game. Is this an app or something? Or are you on a website?
Yeah. You download this application that gives you coins to play with.
Okay.
And so what we do is we monetize the coins. We say, okay, this many coins equals this many dollars.
All right. And who's the head honcho right now?
Technically me, but I had lost a lot, so.
Yeah. And it could have been my fault. I told you to go all in. But we were about to record, and I was just like, do it, man. Take names. And then you lost $20. I'm sorry.
No cards had come out, so it was one of those. It's a gamble. That's when it's a real gamble. Because when you see the cards come out, you can compare it to what you have, and you can be like, I don't feel good about it. So
Are you counting cards as you're doing this?
That would be on poker blackjack, and I'm playing poker Texas Hold'em. You can kind of count, but there's not like a 1, 2, 3, or -1 or +1 situation. It's more one of those. Okay, there's 10 players. Each person has 2 cards. That's 22 or 10, 20 cards or whatever. Odds are that there's not. If I hit with 10 people playing, then that means I'm good because not a lot of people paired up.
Did you understand what he just said?
I understood the counting part because of blackjack. Because
Yeah.
that's the game I would enjoy playing. But I still don't know Texas Hold'em like my brother does.
Oh, okay. I don't understand.
If she practiced, I bet you she'd make you extra money.
That'd be fantastic because apparently selling my bone marrow for extra money, she doesn't want me to do that.
Well, no, don't do that. Huh?
Well, I can't sell my hair. I don't have any.
So yeah, everything you could sell, I could see Sarah saying not to sell. Yeah.
I mean, there's my body. She said no. There's my sperm. She said no.
Would dancing be selling your body?
Would it, Sarah? Is dancing for people's amusement?
I think somehow guys who dance make more money. Somehow.
No.
I think.
Really?
I could see it at a gay club, making money, but not as much as women. No. Those business guys go there after work, I'm still stuck in a meeting. It's a very long meeting.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. They are spending big amount of money. Big.
I wouldn't mind being a waitress at a strip club. I don't have to strip and I can still make good tips.
Are strip clubs even open at this time? Are they considered essential? I mean, they are boosting.
They're restaurants.
They are boosting morale.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but restaurants are all doing takeout.
They're to go, yeah. I don't know how
true.
you would do. Oh, didn't we talk about to go? They pull up and you're like, how much? You paid $20. And you just lift your tits, and that's okay. The next guy paid $30, so shake them. Not just lift, shake.
Oh, okay.
And then
so
drive by. You want to drive again? Drive back around.
That's another $20.
Yeah,
God,
you
damn.
can't touch because we're quarantined. So
Yeah, I mean, could
also
you
that'd be
touch
prostitution.
even before?
There's a room in the back. Sometimes people like to, pay a little extra for,
Yeah.
and then they dance in front of you for just you. And then if you want to touch,
I mean, I guess you could.
there's no touching.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't condone any of that. You shouldn't touch
I feel like
Anyway.
Houston is like a big sex trafficking, like, and this is if there is touching that counts as sex trafficking. It's not just kidnapping. If I say that, I feel like I'm contributing to that fact that we are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, city. I feel like that was a Trump line. We're one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
See, y'all are watching too much Trump. Y'all need to settle down.
I've been watching.
Oh, man.
He does the accordion, the invisible accordion. I love.
He does.
He does that so much. I'm like,
He
on
does have
purpose?
all the characteristics of being a president. He's just not a good one because he's funny to listen to. He does the hand gestures that are ridiculous. Nixon did his, this peace signs and all. Like every president has like a quirk about them, and Trump has. Yeah, that's Clinton, and Trump has plenty of quirks. So like he physically qualifies to be a president. Everything else after that, he's like, dude, you should not be there, bro.
he does do and say some dumb things, but he's also done some good things, and like almost inadvertently good.
I know he did help the troops really well, so I'm very appreciative of that. And not just him, but both parties came together and are sending out these stimulus checks. So I gotta be thankful for that.
He no thought or anything, and not that another president would think about it, but I think that he might want to like look through some pages and be like, I don't know, instead of $2 trillion, we need to make it $1 trillion. That's just too much money. So instead of giving them 1,200, they can do with 800. Instead, Trump's like, signed.
Yeah.
That's what y'all want, right? Cool.
And did y'all hear that? Like he wants his signature to be on the treasury on every check, and then like I finally got to see what his signature looked like. It literally is just like squiggly lines of like the Richter scale. Like when you get like an earthquake, it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. That is what his signature looked like. And I was like, oh, because I've only seen him sign his signature.
Or that's like an EKG. You just see.
Yeah. I've only ever seen him signing documents from afar.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time I just thought, because I saw him just up, down, 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 down. And I'm like, what the hell is he writing? His name is Donald Trump. And then I saw his signature and I thought, just lines up and down. That's all it is.
Is it just because he wants the credit, the boost of ego?
Probably. He's like, I want you to know that these checks came from me. They say the U.S. government. That's also me.
Bro, but
This was my idea. It was great.
It was great. it was unanimous across the board. 4-star generals.
I mean, except for the Democrats.
Dr. Fauci.
But
all those people that are in the hospitals. Everyone agrees this is going to be great.
the accordion.
And then here I am doing the stupid accordion.
For those of you who don't know, we will post the invisible accordion Trump plays all day.
or the OK.
Okay. Has there
Yeah.
been anybody out there in the internet that has taken footage of Trump playing the invisible accordion and actually dubbed an accordion to hear
Yeah,
if he
I
makes
thought you had
music?
seen that.
No, I'd never seen it. And I've never thought, oh, yeah, he's playing the invisible
No,
accordion.
Mexicans, or I want to say because it was Hispanic, and it's one of those where he does it, and so it's like, and then when he stops, it goes. It's so funny. I thought you had seen it. Somebody actually put an accordion.
No. Now when I watch him, I'm just going to think, yeah, there's the accordion again.
Bro, it's funny.
What have you been watching?
We've been. What did I download? I downloaded Deliver Us from Evil. Let me look because I can't remember. But we saw for sure Deliver Us from Evil.
So you and the kids are still marching through a bunch of horror movies?
Yeah, actually. I did throw in She's the Man because I just wanted to see something, funny or not.
Not demonic?
Not demonic.
Have y'all gotten to The Exorcist?
No, we have not.
Is
But
that
actually,
even
that's
on
a
the
good
table?
one.
That is a good one.
No, that is a good one. I just forget. So I downloaded Stuber,
Okay.
Deliver Us from Us, and She's the Man. I just download movies and we just sit there and we watch them.
Do y'all have like a list? And y'all
No
just
list.
marching through you're just winging it.
Yeah, when they're like, let's watch a movie, I'm like, okay. What's good right now? Like what's
Yeah. Sarah, how have you been in this past week of quarantine and stuff?
I've been okay. I'm happy I haven't been going a little stir crazy yet. And it's probably because I'm naturally a homebody anyway.
Yeah.
Just take me for a nice little drive around town. I automatically want to come back home.
That's good enough for like, okay.
It has worked.
It has. It really has. I think one day we took a drive out to Galveston and everybody was spread out nicely. So that was quite nice to see. Mm-hmm. And we just walked on to one of the little boulders.
Yeah. What are those called? Those rock peninsulas that jut out? What are they called?
I know what you're talking about, but
I mean, I'm sure they have like a real name. I just don't know what they are.
I think this bar was closed because we were hoping to get to their pier that they had and look out, but we did what we had.
Is it a rock pier?
A peninsula?
No.
No.
It's a rock penis jutting out of the beach.
I'll just call it a boulder bridge. That's whatever.
Yeah.
But
So
it was nice.
That was a nice drive.
Somebody who knows the answer immediately is like, these fuckheads.
They're screaming at us right now.
And that's fine. You know, if we're going to get yelled at for not knowing what a rock penis formation is at the
That's
beach.
when they punched the wall. When you said that, rock penis.
And he's like, why has everything got to be sex with these people? Everything. Sarah was right.
Yep, I'm always right.
We ended up watching several movies, and a couple of them in a single day because we were doing that puzzle right there, the new one that we just did.
While watching movies?
We ended up watching The Mask first.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw The Mask?
It's been a long time. Longer than Liar Liar.
That was Cameron Diaz's first movie.
Yeah. And for me personally,
There's something about Mary came out after?
after that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because in the credits here, it's introducing Cameron Diaz.
Oh.
And they only do that when it's your first movie. Dude, and I don't think she's ever looked more beautiful than she was in that movie.
She looked good in Bad Teacher.
I didn't like her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is about her. Like, ever since that movie, I've compared her to The Mask, and I've never thought that she looked even close to being as pretty as that movie.
What about There's Something About Mary? Sometimes
I don't like that movie.
Oh, the
I just don't
movie.
like- yeah. I didn't care for her. I don't know. I like Ben Stiller, but I just don't care for that movie at all.
There's another one where she finds out her husband's cheating with these other two young girls.
Oh, I like that movie. I don't really care for Cameron Diaz in that movie.
What is it called?
She's the man.
She's
It's
also there?
The other woman.
The other woman.
Yeah, and like her husband is Leslie Mann's husband is cheating on her with two other women.
I love Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
Like I've always, from the moment I saw her.
Have you ever seen that movie? Sarah?
No, because she's in it.
Who?
Because Cameron Diaz is in it? Oh, you don't even like her.
No.
Oh,
But
So
I
you
also
don't care
agree
for her
that
now, but she does not like her.
no.
all.
And do you know? So she's really not that great of an actress, in my opinion. But of course, when Lady Gaga was with Taylor Kinney, who's also in that movie, I didn't like these little rumors that they were getting friendly with one another. I'm just thinking, this stupid bitch can't stay off anyone else's man. Go get your own.
Taylor Kinney with Gaga or?
Yeah, when Taylor Kinney was with Gaga.
Okay.
Of course, they did the movie together, him and Cameron. So, of course, she always comes off super friendly. I'm like, this bitch. So, yeah.
Wow. Hey, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I don't like Cameron Diaz, but I like The Other Woman. It is a genuinely funny movie.
No.
Yeah.
I also got Sarah to watch, and I put that in air quotes, a single episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You did.
I did.
How
Which I
was
really
it?
didn't watch. I just heard.
I think she only watched like actual 2 minutes worth of footage. She was doing the puzzle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Are you guys even watching The Mask? Because how are you doing the puzzle and watching The Mask?
Didn't we watch The Mask before we did the puzzle?
We might have, but it was the same night. And the way I watch movies and do the puzzles is I'm trying to figure out, and I'm like listening to, and then I'm always looking up at the TV.
Up and down, up and
Yeah.
down.
She was like, I'm not even gonna look at Buffy. She couldn't be bothered.
No.
Because when did you stop liking Buffy?
I never liked it.
From ever.
I saw the pilot episode and I just couldn't get into it. Mm-mm.
So I googled.
And maybe it's because we're guys.
So I googled key episodes for newbies to drop in on, and
You Googled that.
Yeah, and because I was like, oh, I know some episodes. Like there's a Halloween episode where they all identities get switched to the costume that they're wearing, and I'm like, but there's also a bunch of other characters that are later introduced that Sarah just isn't going to know about, and I'm like, I don't know if she. So I looked up this list, and the very first one was the season finale episode of season 1, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's the episode that I chose for her, and nothing. And so now, after that, later that night when she went to bed, I watched more Buffy. And then the next day I watched more Buffy. So now I think I'm going to go through a bunch of Buffy.
I think it's a guy thing now. Back in the day, I thought more girls would be into Buffy than guys.
I know, girl power and all that stuff. She's kicking butt. And she looks cute doing it.
I think you're watching because she looks cute. Because that's what I would watch.
Yeah, because the acting is terrible.
The acting is not terrible.
Wait, is it terrible? I could see it being terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's terrible.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm gonna ask.
But
a
he
few.
likes bad shows.
That's true, Nick.
You do, honey.
You give a lot of room. David does too. I never knew that about David too, and he was like, "This movie's good." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He says it's good, and he watches a lot of movies.
Yeah. And then you watch them and you're just like,
I was so mad. I forgot what movie it was, but twice, and I was like, David said this was good. This was shit. Okay, it wasn't shit. It was bad. I was like, there's holes everywhere. This doesn't even make any sense. I don't want to watch it. It wasn't even funny. Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, Nick likes cheesy acting. I don't know what it is.
I'm okay with cheesy acting as long as it's like there's only some of it. Like in She's the Man, if you get past the beginning, the movie's actually good. There's some really good moments.
That later that night of doing the puzzle after Buffy, we ended up watching Just Friends, a movie that she'd never seen before.
No, and I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So how did you like that one?
I loved it.
I was confused. As soon as you said Ryan Reynolds, I remembered which one it was, but I always confused it with No Strings Attached. Yeah.
I'm thinking of The Proposal. I never saw No Strings Attached.
That's Ashton Kutcher, isn't it?
Yeah.
With
right.
There's No Strings Attached and Just Friends, or Friends with Benefits.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that
two
one
movies.
too.
One is Ashton Kutcher, one's Justin Timberlake. They're basically the same thing. Came out like right around the same time of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you said No Strings Attached, and I thought The Proposal.
Wow. Well, I guess all of those are in that same
Well, The Proposal
category.
does have Ryan Reynolds in it.
It does. And I was like,
That's my other favorite movie.
yeah. So
It's really good.
Just Friends, I had completely forgot, is also a Christmas movie.
It kind of is.
Yeah, like all of this crap happens right around Christmas time because there's a dude in there that is like, he's got the most Christmas decorations and it's elaborate and all that. He's like, best house in the state. And I'm like, wow.
Does that count? Does that mean that that's a Christmas movie?
I
mean,
would say
just
it
like
is.
Die Hard.
I would say if
Die Hard is not a Christmas.
I know, but
Is it during Christmas?
yes.
they're having a Christmas party. I don't know if they ever say the actual date, but it's an office Christmas party gone horribly wrong.
Well, then a lot of movies would be Christmas movies.
Well, yeah. I mean, I consider Batman Returns a Christmas movie.
No.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. The model, she fell off the building and she fell through the tree and into the little thing. You know, come on.
It's a big scene.
Yeah. I mean, if I consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, which I do, then Just Friends is a Christmas movie.
Well, then, wow.
And had it gone on a little bit more, I would have said Jaws the Revenge was a Christmas movie. But
there
like,
was no tree.
2/3 of the movie is around Christmas, and then they do a time jump. And I'm like, fuck. Had they not done the time jump, Jaws the Revenge would be a Christmas movie.
Wow. Have you ever seen just Why Him?
No. I almost did, and I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger.
Why Him is a Christmas movie then.
Shut up.
Then
Is
it's
it
gonna
really?
be according to you, it will be a Christmas.
Is most of the movie around Christmas?
Yep, it ends on Christmas Day.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we also saw the Rugrats movie the next day. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, I couldn't. And I love the Rugrats. I just couldn't.
Not anymore.
No,
It was-
not that movie.
Not the Paris one or the movie?
The
No,
very
the
first
movie.
one, which I think was in 90s. Did it say 97?
97.
Yeah, it's before 2000.
And I was telling him, so there was an episode. I guess it concluded the season, so they could jump to the movie
Yeah.
where Dee Dee finds out she's pregnant, but I didn't tell you where. They were on a cruise ship. So they were mistaking this for seasickness, but she says, I've never felt this way before.
Yeah.
So then, of course, she goes to the nurse, and then she finds out she's pregnant. So now in the movie, she's widely pregnant.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she has Dill, and there you go. Now Dill is introduced.
Yeah. And
It
I
took
had
a movie to
I had
introduce.
never seen the Rugrats movie. I've never seen any of their movies. My little sister owned it, loved it, and I was just like, I don't know. Watching it reminded me a lot of Space Jam. And the thing is about animated movies in the late 90s where as few as there were, they all kind of followed the same model. Big budget, a lot of CG mixed in, and then there's the cartoon, and like pretend you're the camera, the audience watching. The cartoon would come really close to the camera, and then they pull back, and you're just like, Space Jam did this, and now the Rugrats are doing this. And I'm sure if there's another relic from the 90s that's a cartoon.
Wait, didn't
I'm
Space
sure they
Jam
would do
actually talk to us? They actually did talk to us, right?
that. Yeah, Bugs broke the fourth wall and talked
Yeah.
to us. But he's a Looney Tune. But what I'm talking about is that there's like these extreme close-ups of like, look at what we can do with all this money. I did
That
not
was the
know.
only kind of special effects that they could do.
Yeah, I did not know that the Rugrats movie was partly musical. I did not remember
They
that. at all.
sang? I forgot.
Yeah, there were a handful of songs in this movie, and the one that I just she went and took a shower. She was like, I can't. So, and I sat there and I was like, I've sat through worse. I can do this. I sat through the whole thing. And what's funny is that I you know how I let a lot of stuff slide in this? I was like, Sarah, this doesn't make sense at all. But I'm going to go with it because it's Rugrats. And there was a scene in there where the Russian monkeys that are part of a circus sing that Cling Clang, Walla Walla Bing Bang song. And I was like, that's the song I remember from the trailer. And I think as a child, that's the song where I was like, I'm never going to see this movie. No. So watching it happen before me and there's nothing I can do to stop it, I was just like, wow.
Now I love the movie. The song, I downloaded it.
I mean, the movie was passable. It's not the worst that I've seen. That would probably be like Hellraiser 4 or something. But
so I always remembered that song. I just didn't know it was from Rugrats. And it wasn't it ooh ee ooh ah ah.
I guess.
Ching ching wada wada bing bang.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Ching, wada, wada, wada.
Yep. But there you go. Now I kind of want. I feel since I'm like a completionist, at some point I'm gonna go and watch the Rugrats go to Paris, and then the Rugrats Go Wild. The crossover that they did with the Wild Thornberries.
I don't know anything about the Thornberries, so
I don't either.
I would just be lost.
Well, you liked the Wild Thornberries.
I did back in the day.
So whenever I get to that movie, I mean,
Nope.
you're going to sit down and watch it with me?
She
No.
liked the Rugrats too. She's realized she can't. She cannot.
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was a musical. For me, at least. Because I liked the Rugrats too. But when I watched this movie, and I'm like, okay, I'm going with what the babies are doing. You know, they're hitting all their marks, you know, early in the movie. Angelica's a bitch. The kids are just kind of like waddling around saying weird words, you know, and then all this crazy stuff happens because it's a movie and you got to do stuff.
It was just too extra.
We finished the second season of Sex Education finally.
Yep. Good cliffhanger too.
And then Netflix is like, we're pulling the plug. No.
I'd be bummed.
Sex Education.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it has Gillian Anderson, and she is like a sex therapist. And her son goes to his high school, and he starts giving out sex advice to other students for cash. And he's like mirroring her teachings or whatever.
But he's good at it.
Yeah, he makes quite a bit of money.
Who needs sex ed? What?
Apparently, all these teenagers are horny and they need advice.
And what's weird is that when I was in high school, I remember, like, yeah, everyone was horny, but Jesus, literally everybody in that school is like having sex with each other.
Or making out.
What kind? Give me some examples of this advice they're seeking.
Well, there's a girl that has this thing, this quirk about her that when she's in the middle of having sex, if she's going to orgasm, she puts a pillow over her boyfriend's face because she doesn't want him to see her face because she thinks when she climaxes, she makes an ugly face.
And so she wants advice on how to handle that.
She gets advice from the boy, but then the boyfriend goes to the mom because he didn't want to have to pay for sex advice.
Yeah.
And this was day one of when the main character's mom goes to his school.
Yeah, she actually gets employed because the sex education at the school is so poor. She volunteers to like work at the school and to guide the kids. She's not telling them to go have sex, but if they ask her questions about sex, she will give them the best advice possible to stay safe and be educated and not think that they're weirdos. They're like, is there something wrong with me? And she's like, no. There are hundreds of cases of blah, blah, blah.
Hundreds of
very
men
similar
like
to
fruit
what
up
you're
their ass
experiencing.
while they're poking their woman.
Exactly.
Okay, so what was the advice there? Like, what was the question? Like, what do I do to not put a pillow on my boyfriend's face?
Well, no, they questioned if it was a fetish.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is.
But then she just admitted the truth because I think the boy, can we just call him by his name? What was his name?
I forget his name.
Levi.
We'll call him Oliver.
Okay.
Someone's going to be like, his name's not Oliver, Sarah.
I know, I'm sorry in advance.
They don't
so
remember.
the girl that puts the pillow over her boyfriend's face goes to Oliver and he says, well, just talk to him about it. Like, that's all you have to do. Just be honest with him. But then the boyfriend, Ed, that's not his name, goes to Oliver's mom. And then the mom says, well, there could be a question of fetish going on.
Yeah.
So, like to just keep track of it or something. So anyway, the girl ends up talking to her boyfriend and she does this really cute thing to make them both ugly. And then she says, do you still want to have sex with me? And he says, well, yeah. And then they have sex.
There was also an episode or a case of two young men that were wanting to have sex. And one was just ready to go for it. And the other one was like, have you douched? And he's like, what? And they didn't know what douching was. And so there was that whole
Well,
thing.
that one did because he was a virgin.
Yeah.
A guy would douche?
Yeah. Because you got to be clean, bro. Or something.
Maybe that's initially what the douche was for.
I,
was to
Lord
clean your butthole.
have mercy. I don't know, man.
Because to me, that makes more sense. Pardon me. This makes a lot more sense than a woman having to douche her vagina. But I mean, it can work both ways, I guess.
It's not about what it was designed to do. You're talking about what it can do.
Yeah.
You know? The douche was designed for this, but it could also do that.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to inject flavor into a turkey, go for it too.
Well,
You do whatever you want. If you don't have a baster, but you got a douche,
same
there
concept.
you go. Yeah. I mean, the people out in the living room aren't going to know. They're not in the kitchen with you. How are they going to know? And you just be like, fuck it. Right? Am I right? I'm right. Here we go.
Here we are about sex again. Okay.
WrestleMania is now 2 nights long because it's the single
It's too big
WrestleMania.
for just one night.
There you
As
go.
they promote it.
Yeah. And this is the show that has Dolph Ziggler versus Otis and Baron Corbin versus Elias. But yet, you could cut those matches. You,
I
there's-
think Elias and
Corbin aren't going to happen?
No.
Who knows? They advertised yesterday on Raw, and as we're watching the card just go by at the end of the show, Sarah actually said, how many matches does this goddamn show have? And
well,
I
it's
thought,
2 days.
I thought
Like
that's
everyone on their temporary roster has a match.
yeah,
Tamina.
has a match.
Of all people.
Why is Otis and Dolph Ziggler having a match? I know it's because of what's her face. Why isn't that just on SmackDown leading into WrestleMania?
Well, they had big plans.
Really, Otis?
Yeah.
How big of a plan? Like,
He's gonna.
I know he's trying to like reach for the stars, but his glass ceiling is about as low as Hornswoggle was. It's low.
No,
all right,
people-
let's be real here.
No, people like him.
I know people like him, but people also like Santino Marella. And how high was his glass ceiling?
I like
Very, very
Santino.
low. Yeah, I'm sure you did. But let's be real here. Is Otis ever going to be a world title contender, even a U.S. or IC title contender?
So when you say it like that, no, probably not. Just like McFoley wasn't supposed to be.
Okay, but Mick Foley had a lot more going for him than Otis did.
I mean, they kind of, they both have bodies that are weird, and but somehow they kind of entertain the crowd.
Yeah, I guess. I also didn't really like Mick Foley.
And now you're kind of defending him.
No, I never liked Mick Foley.
You just said he had a lot more going for him.
Yeah, he could actually talk. Otis just grunts. Oh yeah,
But he does that on purpose.
Yeah, I know
And
he
people
doesn't.
like it because nobody likes just people talking now.
I know he is a specimen to look at because he is a man baby.
And he's really strong.
Oh yeah, he's a hoss. But god damn it, he's also in a tag team. Why isn't this Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Heavy Machinery?
I think they're going to get rid of Heavy Machinery soon. And Otis will survive.
And Otis is going to be the one to survive.
even though
and get the-
Tucker is a pretty good wrestler.
yeah, he's the one that I watch. I mean, I watched Otis because how can you avoid a man baby shaped like an egg?
I don't want to talk about wrestling all the time, or the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't know why they're still advertising Roman Reigns. And if Braun Strowman replaces Roman Reigns, I'm gonna lose it because that's still your guy.
It is, yeah.
But I think he'll lose now. Now Braun's not gonna beat.
Okay, do you think Goldberg can jackhammer Braun Strowman? He couldn't even jackhammer The Undertaker.
No, Goldberg could barely jackhammer Dolph Ziggler,
Okay, so
who's nothing.
Sarah, do you think Goldberg can pick up Braun Strowman?
No.
Come on.
So, I mean, come on. Brock Lesnar's one thing, but Braun Strowman is bigger than Brock Lesnar.
Is he bigger than the Big Show?
No. Yeah, I think he's about as tall as the Big Show, but I think the Big Show is wider because he's just huge. I think Braun is like, what, 320? Big Show is like 480, 460.
No.
By the way, Big Show's having his own Netflix show.
I heard something
Yeah,
about
the Big
that.
Show. They aired a commercial on Raw. I don't know when it's coming out. It's like in the next week or so.
I saw that on the magazine about a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, is that real?
And surprising, like, I didn't think I would watch it. I looked at Sarah, I was like, would you watch that?
Yep.
Right there. She will watch the Big Show, but she will not watch Buffy.
Because the Big Show.
Well,
He's a lot more charming than Ms. Buffy.
Big Show is a really nice guy.
Xander is very charming in Buffy. Sometimes he can be a little childish, but understand they're also in high school. There's a lot of hormones going on.
He's not the main character, is he? It's not called the Xander Show. Shit.
Wow, that would have been the name.
She got me there. It's not Xander and friends. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I told her, I was trying to like hype up the show, and I was like, this guy's name is Angel. He's a bad guy, and Buffy's in love with him. She's like, that's nice. And then later I said, Buffy and her friends later refer to themselves as the Scooby Gang as they take down demons. That's nice, honey. And I thought, damn it, I'm not winning. And I was like, you know what? Seth Green eventually joins the cast as a regular. That's nice, honey.
Because he was all about the late 90s and early millennium. Where is he now?
Doing voiceover work for cartoons.
Good
Who?
for him.
Seth Green.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the, what's his name? The son.
he's Chris Griffin.
Yeah, he's Chris Griffin, and he also produces, writes, and does voices for Robot Chicken.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Okay. And I said, look, Sarah, look, it's Allison Hannigan. That's Willow. That's nice, honey. Fuck. All right, let's get into some non-news news here. Did you guys know that there was a secret hidden chamber inside Mount Rushmore?
No.
Ooh. Okay, so here's some juicy stuff.
It wasn't that on Richie Rich?
I never saw Richie Rich, so I don't know. That was Macaulay Culkin?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
It might have been. But yeah, there's a tunnel in there that they show.
In Richie Rich? No way.
Mount Rushmore, right? The presidents?
Yeah, the 4 presidents?
Unless I'm remembering this wrong, it was a long time ago. But yeah, they go up the nose or up through the eye or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds like something straight out of Hidden National Treasure.
Yeah, and there's a vault up there with money.
Vault with money.
Yeah.
Well, they're wrong. It's not in the head, actually, of like one of the faces. The enormous stone sculpture featuring the faces of dead presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abe Lincoln contains a secret chamber few people know about. The secret room can be found hidden behind the head of Abraham Lincoln and was designed to serve as a hall of records to tell the complete history of the United States. During the construction from 1927 to 41, the sculptor behind the monument, Gutzon Borglum, had planned to create a much larger image to accompany the 4 presidents depicting more of American history, but realized that it was too intricate and was forced to abandon the project. Instead, the government gave him permission to start work on the Hall of Records, a secret chamber to be filled with America's most important paperwork. But Gutzman died before his record room was completed, leaving the hall abandoned for decades. In the 90s, the chamber was finally completed and was stocked with panels featuring American history, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Gutzman's biography was also placed in the room and locked in a titanium vault. So, the pictures that I was able to see, it showed Mount Rushmore, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of like did photos to the side of Abe Lincoln. And they didn't actually show like the entryway to the thing, but I'm assuming it's like right behind his neck, somewhere hidden right in there. And it just looked like a long tunnel that went straight and then up a bit. And the walls weren't flush and smooth. They were kind of just jagged all the way down. And there was even some photographs inside the tunnel, and it looks like it just kind of goes in and stops, but it very well could have like gone through like another panel or something. And there are numbers on each of the grooves that go up the wall. And I don't know what those numbers signify. I don't know if those were put there back in the 40s or in the 90s, but since later they did put actual pieces of our history in this little hidden chamber. And it is actually really cool.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
But I want you to think about this. Would that be a good place to go and hide if there's ever like a bomb or something, like an atomic bomb being
because
dropped?
it is an open thing.
Oh, okay.
There is no door to the cave or whatever you want to call it.
Just go deep, deep, deep in.
I mean, you could go deep, deep in, but
Can you
I
imagine
don't
getting
think so.
trapped in there? Like you're okay, I'm good here, but then it starts to shake, and then rocks start to fall behind you, so you just start running forward, and then there's rocks falling in front of you, and now you can't go back either. But you're there.
you're trapped
and
in the
you
Hall of
feel-
Records.
Right. Close your eyes, and you start to feel like you're breathing, but you're having a hard time breathing.
Yeah.
Almost like the oxygen's like running out,
Okay.
and you're like, I think everybody else is dead.
I'm assuming like when it rains, it's at a position to where rain can't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta also understand that the cliff base that it's on, like the heads are down here, you're standing up here. It's almost impossible to like get into the chamber. I don't know if you have to get through like a helicopter or something like that, but
But answer my question. So
If I was trapped in there,
you're trapped in there, everybody else is dead because of the bombs.
yeah.
But you can't really leave, and it sounds like you're almost running out of oxygen. How would you feel knowing that you're probably like the last person alive, but you were also trapped?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
Sarah?
Like, would I feel dumb having made that decision to go into the Hall of Records?
But you're alive.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, if I don't have food, and even if there was nothing going on out there that I wasn't trapped, I'm going to run out of food.
Yeah, but if you could somehow get out, you would be alive.
Well, that is true. But I don't know how I'd get out. It's in a part of a mountain behind a presidential head. I mean, if I jump, I die. I can't go up. I can't go deeper into the cave.
But you're alive. No one else is.
But I'm alive. Fine. I'll just piss over the edge onto Abe's shoulder.
So you just start shitting, pissing until you have no more shit and piss.
What else is there to do? Well, when you're done with that, you can just furiously masturbate. Behind Abe Lincoln's ear. I'm sorry, Sarah.
It was questionable if he was gay or not.
Abe?
So
Honest
you'd be
Abe?
doing him right.
Wow.
Honest Abe was
Probably.
a bottom,
That's none of our business.
a top.
He just, he loved all.
Where are we getting this from? Like, where is this coming from? Is this for real?
I have no idea.
It's like, yeah, it was in that show, Sex Ed.
I think, I want to say I probably watched something on the History Channel, maybe?
The movie
It was
where
something-
he's a vampire is not real.
No.
Okay.
I heard that
These
was
were
good,
like
though.
random facts or something like that about Abraham Lincoln or presidents or something. I can't remember what it was.
Did you know Abe Lincoln always had two males around him? And they went everywhere.
They were his spotters because he was also a champion power lifter.
Dude, can you imagine? It's like, do you have to wear the hat while you squat?
Well, the hat was a measure of height when he would lift. If he could lift whatever he's lifting up over the hat, then that's at maximum stretch. And he's like, I have done it.
That's also how he qualified for the power jump or the high jump. Otherwise, he wouldn't qualify because of his
You
height.
also have to have immaculate posture, which is the regulation now when you lift something. You have to mimic Abe's posture of being totally straight.
Can we add a head to the Mount Rushmore?
Sure.
Donald's?
No. Absolutely not.
There's a lot of controversy. Like, I think if people voted, they might do it, especially right now.
No.
His ratings are through the roof. Not just on TV, his approval rating.
Because I had seen
Because
that
he has
his...
stated that his ratings are through the roof right now.
And that's not a byproduct. I think if any president was there, I think any rating, whoever was on camera in the rating, they would be a ratings getter just because of what's going on.
Sure.
I mean, was George W. a ratings getter after 9/11 when people wanted to know what he was going to say?
Possibly.
After 9/11, for sure. He was
Yeah.
he was in the 80s.
Yeah. Okay. So could you have put Obama or Clinton or Trump in GW's spot and declared them ratings getters? It was after a crisis.
Yeah, as after we were at war. He was a wartime president.
So at a time like this, it doesn't matter who
wartime
you
like
are.
this.
Trump just happens to be the Yahoo that's there in front of the camera. So he's going to say, I'm the one getting the ratings. It's great. Everyone's making money. It's great. I mean, the economy's not. But,
Hey, it was-
but Fox News is.
What does the W stand for in Georgia?
Wally, I think.
You're making that up.
Yeah, of course I am. I have no idea.
Well, why would you
It's
say
probably
that?
Wilbert.
George Wally, George Wilbert.
Wilbert Bush.
William? I don't know.
Wonton?
Willington.
Wellington. Wow, that's so white. George Wellington Bush.
It couldn't have been Washington, right? That's too on the nose. It's too obvious.
George Washington Bush.
Yeah.
Worthington. What's Donald?
Winchester, that's his name. George Winchester Bush.
What does the J and Donald J. Trump stand for?
Jermaine.
Oh, they just said it too. I could have sworn.
That is good. That is good. Donald Jermaine Trump.
Well, I was going to say Jackson, but I thought, nah. That's too...
Donald Jackson Trump.
What does this? What does it mean?
It's his name. What do you know what it is? What the
Yeah.
name, the middle name is?
It's not J as in J-A-Y.
No,
right?
No, the initial J, honey.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
J-A-Y Trump.
I thought, oh, the letter J. He's like, what does it stand for? You read his birth certificate. J. He says J-A-Y. What?
Normal, like a Josh. Donald Josh.
He's a Joshua.
Yeah. No, they did Josh, not Joshua.
I don't know. Do you know what his middle name is?
I do.
Okay, what is it? Is it funny? John! Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so vanilla.
That's so Marie.
Germaine was so much more fun.
Dude, Jermaine was gold. Donald Jermaine Trump.
I don't even know how he got onto that.
Perhaps, probably, if not one of the best middle names.
We've taken a bunch of surveys, and my middle name is great. It's Germaine.
It's very original.
Not a lot of people know about it, and not a lot of people would have thought of this. It's Germaine. It's great.
It is. Jermaine would have been great.
Sarah, who would you put if they were to add a fifth person to the Mount Rushmore? Who would you put?
Obama.
Oh.
See, I would have thought Obama.
Because he's black. The first black.
I mean, he does have that going for him, but I genuinely thought he was I thought he was better than Clinton and Bush, and obviously I think he's better than Trump.
I just loved how he carried himself.
But these are the presidents in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And he carried himself like a
He was beautiful. And then I loved how he treated Michelle in public.
Mm-hmm. They actually looked happy around each other.
Yeah.
Whereas Melania kind of stares off into space.
She looks so mean.
Can't be bothered, bro.
So mean. She looks so mean.
Like,
She's probably not even a mean person. It's just terrible. Terrible
yeah.
Botox.
She's like, this is where I am. This is where I'm stuck. Wow. And I there's times when I just feel bad for her. I'm like, God, if she could run, if she had the opportunity to run, would she? No, I don't want her to be. No, I'm not. I mean, like, run away from Trump.
Oh, I thought you meant run. Like,
no.
president.
No. If
Yeah,
she
to
had the
run
chance,
away.
he's like, no strings attached. If you could just run away from him, would she weigh her options?
She's like, you're messing with me. Is he here now?
Because
Like-
she obviously has her citizenship now.
She does. Mm-hmm.
And of course, her son was born here in America. Just go.
Yeah. I mean, she's got
Go live your
money or
life.
something.
No.
Okay, honest to God question. Is she cheating on Donald Jermaine Trump with one of the Secret Service members?
Who would cheat on Jermaine? Nobody would cheat on Jermaine.
God.
Jermaine's cheating.
Oh, totes. Totes.
I totally see this as House of Cards. Absolutely. Only she can't run for presidency, which
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah.
I think there are better options to come than Melania. But definitely House of Cards. I see it. But Trump has to be gay. Spoiler alert.
Can you imagine? He's like, it's just, dick is better than pussy. And, I know some people are not going to like
mine,
this.
so I have to admire others.
Everyone just knows that when it comes to men versus women, men are always better in the job. This is the prime example of this job. I was great.
You forgot to throw
He's
in
even
perhaps.
sexist there.
And I just had to ask myself, is the dick better? I say yes. I said yes.
I found out for myself, and yes, it is.
Oh, gosh. All right, moving on. Did y'all hear about the woman who grew eyelashes in her mouth?
No.
This story grosses me out so much.
So this occurred in February 2020.
On her tongue or where? Sorry.
It would
In her
be
gums.
in her gums, like in between her teeth.
Okay.
It was very strange. This happened in 2020, February, but it started like 9 years before, and it is still happening today. A woman in Italy had an extremely rare condition in which she grew eyelashes in her mouth. The woman first visited doctors for the condition back in 2009 when she was 19. At the time, she was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, a condition caused by an imbalance in levels of sex hormones in the body. It can cause excessive hair growth, including facial and body hair. She was also treated with oral surgery to remove the gum hairs and given birth control pills to help regulate her hormone levels. 6 years later, the hairs returned, and she told doctors that she stopped taking the birth controls as prescribed. Doctors repeated the oral procedure and prescribed more birth control pills. A year later, she returned, and again, the hairs had grown back on her face, neck, and inside her mouth. There is no cure for the ailment, and it needs to be asked, how is it possible for gums to grow hair? It is unclear, but during embryonic development, the tissue that forms in the mouth comes from the same layer of skin cells, the same layer of cells that form the skin. The glands in the skin secrete an oily substance that often surround hair follicles. So, the layers of skin that are, say, on top of my head, I have an oily head, and I think everybody does. At some point, your hair just gets oily. So, this type of skin gets mixed in with the same cells and the layers that go into your mouth. And because there is an imbalance, that skin in her mouth gets more of that stuff up top, and that's how hair is able to grow. It's very, very rare, but it is quite strange. Did I show you the pictures?
No, I don't want
I
to
don't want to
see
see them.
No? Okay.
Oh my god!
So it looked like the hairs, it was like as if you bit into something and you just had something stuck in between your teeth. There were these little hair follicles that were black, that were quite thick, that were just protruding in between teeth up into like where the gums met the tooth. And the doctors had to go in there, and I would imagine you just pluck them out, but I don't know.
I feel like you talk about so many stories, but this is the one story I'm unpleasant. It's unpleasant.
Yeah.
Well, when I came across it, I said, I have to tell them.
And we talked about 20 dudes getting blown by a girl.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah.
Wait, 20 or 40?
I think it was 17.
Oh, there you go.
And it was like extreme blowjobbing or whatever.
Yeah.
And she broke her neck, right?
She
broke her jaw.
injured her neck, broke her. Yeah, like.
She broke her jaw.
God damn it.
I don't, and even that right there was more like, why would you,
I don't know why you would do
like,
that.
at number 10 you should have been like, I probably should stop.
Yeah. But I mean, come on. We've also talked about people who have gotten really angry when they're at like little mini Starbuckses or something. And like that one lady, she got so mad because she was told you can't use the bathroom or whatever it was until you buy something, that she just dropped the shit right there in the lobby, picked it up and threw it at the clerk behind the counter. And it was caught on camera.
Yeah.
I thought this was a burger joint. Not
It might have been, I don't know what it was.
No, I think it was a burger joint.
This one's
It might have been a burger
fast
joint.
food chain somewhere else.
Yeah. And
Burger King.
to be, I mean, we've all been very angry. Have you been that angry where you're just like, oh God, I'm so pissed I could go shit right now?
I would love to have a poop on deck.
Yeah. She clearly
What
had
a luxury that is.
Let me shit real quick. Hold on and wait what I do with it.
to. It was
Wait
nice.
till you see what I do
It's
with
nice and solid, and she just chucks it. And then she's not the first person to do that. There were other people before her that did stuff
it.
like
In that restaurant?
No.
Oh my
That was just reported. And then
Can
I
you
remember.
imagine if it was that same restaurant and they have a
No,
sign
he
up,
showed me
please don't shit and throw it at the employees.
He showed me a surveillance video of a woman taking a poop in a Walmart. She just pulled her shorts aside and took a dump and then tucked them away and walked away.
And it was over there in the frozen section.
It's like,
At the
how
end
could
of
it be that clean? Not even a wipe.
It just happens, dude. She dropped trout and it just went. And then she just looks around. And then she strolls away. And then there's a big pile of
She
shit.
didn't even
right
pull
there.
them down. She just pulled one
To the
cheek
side.
out. Yep. And then at Renfest, in the showers,
Kind of speechless. I'm
God.
sorry. I'm like, you're going too far. Like, I'm still stuck. Anyway, okay.
so Renfest in the showers, they say, please don't do your business in the showers, because if you keep continuing, we have to take this away.
Yeah. And so.
So someone has literally, or many people, enough people have pooped in the showers.
Yes. Now, they do have a trash can in these little cubbies where you go take showers. When you go in, there's like a little room where you can take off your clothes, and there's some shelves where you put your stuff on. And then there's a curtain, and that's where you shower. There is a trash can underneath these shelves. I don't know if these people are taking dumps in the shower or in the trash can. But yes, there is a sign.
This needs to stop.
There is a sign that warns you, which means enough people had to do it. So this past year, when I was done taking a shower, I had to ask. Because I don't know how many weeks into the season we were at. I don't know if it was like 10 weeks or whatever. I said, okay, so we're so many weeks into the season. Has anyone done it yet? And I pointed to the sign, and she said, luckily, no. I said, all right. But at that point, we still had maybe 4 more weekends to go or something.
When I was in, when I was in college, there was a sign I remember that said, it basically said, stop jerking off in the showers because they're getting clogged. Like the water's overflowing, so please don't. And it wasn't don't jerk off. It was like don't masturbate either. But it specifically said semen. Like stop putting your semen in the shower, because so I guess a bunch of dudes. I mean, it's college. I don't know. It's like
enough. Wow.
Yeah, they're like stop.
Okay.
So it doesn't dissolve?
I guess not quick enough because
Wow.
no, but I guess that's how much people were doing it.
Yeah.
Like they were like the drainage is overflowing or whatever. Like they were like stop.
Yeah. Do you remember that story that
I think I took a picture of that.
I think it was on this show. I don't remember how far back, but do you remember where I had discussed there was a city that went down into the sewers and they unclogged like something that was like from drains, like I guess like from apartment buildings and houses. It goes down and eventually goes into like the sewer, right? Well, this entry point had been clogged by like hair, probably semen, bunch of crap coming from like sinks and all that down into the sewer, and it had clogged. And so the city had to go down there and dismantle this huge lump of whatever this stuff is. And it ended up weighing like a ton or 2 tons or something.
Wow.
And it was just crap that came from like your kitchen sinks, oily stuff of anything. All right.
Nope.
You gotta
Like, what do you even do? How do you break it down?
put some gloves on and start picking.
They're like, get the TNT.
Hazmat suits.
You got it, boss.
Get the TNT championship.
Yeah. What about the myth of women's menstrual cycles syncing together? Have you heard about that?
I've heard of that.
Okay.
I don't know
you've
if
heard
that's
about
true.
that, right?
It happens all the time.
Okay. So
It is
Sarah-
true.
Yeah.
I was never sure if it was actually a thing. I just figured it was like verbalized and then people just kind of went with it because it sounds plausible, right?
It does. I don't know how that would work, but how does that even work?
I don't know. So when I looked into it, I found an article that I felt best described it, and it kind of agrees with that theory, but then it kind of doesn't. And I'm like, okay, well, shit. Now I don't know who to believe. Like, can it happen?
Do
Can
you
it not
feel
happen?
something different? Like, let's say she's ahead of you. Does she wait for you, or do you speed up?
No.
Well, she would have to be
It's-
mixed up. Has that ever happened to you? Been around like a group of friends for a long period of time?
Well, sure. It happens with me and my coworkers all the time.
Really?
So y'all sync up.
Pretty much. So, like, let's just say when my best girlfriend, she has hers the week before me. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I'm about to start then too. But mine can be slightly ahead or slightly off.
Okay.
And I guess some others would be too. And then just magically we start the same week.
Okay. So in here, what I'm about to read, there might be an answer as to why that happens.
Okay.
Okay, so check this out. In 1971, Harvard Dr. Martha McClintock studied a group of 135 women who lived in a college dorm. She discovered that over a year, there was an increase in period synchronization for roommates and close friends, but not among random pairings of women. She hypothesized that this was due to some time spent together, or even the theory called the alpha uterus. Now, when she talks about time spent together, that's people that are like living together, best friends and all that sort of stuff. Now,
I mean, Sarah sleeps here, but technically she spends just as much time at work sometimes than here.
yeah. That's
I'm
a safe-
literally home and work and then work and home.
Yeah. According to the study, the alpha uterus has a strong hormonal pull that causes other cycles around it to menstruate in unison. She proposed that when a woman becomes aware of another woman's period, hearing about it or seeing a woman carry a pad or tampon, that it might cause that woman to start her period. It is suggested that these things can cause women's pheromones to communicate with one another due to closeness, and this in turn triggers cycle syncing. Since 1971's, many more studies have taken place and covered more dorm mates, lesbian couples, best friends, and animals to see if cycles eventually cover, and none of the studies yielded results similar to that of 1971. So there was nothing ever as definitive as that done in 1971. And the theory of the alpha uterus is all the other women that you got like alphas and then betas. So if for whatever reason a woman is
So a leader
chosen.
and then a follower.
Yeah, like if this one woman who's an alpha uterus is letting off more pheromones than the rest of y'all,
And that's how you become the alpha?
and then I don't know how you become an alpha. I guess it's like, if a queen bee is taken away from the colony, one of the other bees will eventually turn into a queen.
Turn into?
Yeah, it's I forget what it's called, but there's a thing in nature, kind of like if there's certain frogs, like in Jurassic Park, where they're like all the frogs are male. Eventually, one of those
One
frogs
needs to
will
get
turn
fucked.
one will turn into a female in a single sex environment. So bees are all males, with the exception of like the queen, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have an alpha
Spontaneously,
uterus,
you can morph into The
I don't.
other gender.
I have no idea. So if the alpha uterus is real,
I thought they found another bee. Like they're like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here. The bee,
you got to go follow someone.
Yeah,
else.
Queen Bee's gone, but I heard there's one over in Shelbyville. We got to move over.
I don't know. So, Sarah, there could be someone at your job that is considered an alpha uterus that is
What if
putting
it's
out
Sarah?
more pheromones. I mean,
It might be me.
I don't know.
I don't want to take the credit if I don't know.
Well, we know what,
I'm the alpha uterus. God damn it! And everyone else is a bunch of betas.
among dudes. Like if we know who the alpha dude is, if there's a bunch of dudes, right? And it's usually the one that can whoop everybody else.
The one that's the douchiest. Yeah.
no, not the douchiest.
How low is your V-neck, bro?
Down to his dick.
Be respectable down to his belly button.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So no, but like it usually is supposed to be the fittest, the strongest dude, right? Like you don't want to mouth off to him because you get your ass whooped.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, how does it make you alpha?
I don't know. Because like there could be a guy who's like, "Hey, bruh, yeah, I can stomp a mud hole in your ass," but he's like dumb as bricks. And then you got like the average guy who's got like just average intelligence, and then you got the loser nerd who's smarter than everybody, clearly knows how to work smarter and not harder. Whereas Big Brute over here is going to be like, "Hey man, I can totally lift this and put it over there." While the smart guy, the nerd, is like, "Well, you would build a pulley system and utilize half as much effort and get all the work done." You know, stuff like, I mean, I don't know.
But if he mouths off, if that guy mouths off,
if the little guy,
yeah, mouths off and says something smart like that, and he gets smacked, he probably won't say a lot more after that.
it's so mean though.
No, but that's even between siblings, you know, like that's all. It's not the smart one, because if the older one is not the smart one, and the middle one is, like,
Yeah.
you know, then the big one's gonna be like, shut the with that smart shit. I told you, stop.
I don't know. Sarah, is that how you think guys work out who's the alpha? I guess it is true.
Totally.
It's like jocks
Or-
on the
and
football
that's-
team. They're
For
the
guys,
alphas.
yeah, I don't.
In the
how-
same
for
way, that's how
women-
y'all become friends. Y'all hate each other. Y'all hate each other at first. Y'all fight it out, and y'all become friends.
I mean, when I had my fights, after the fact, me and those other guys would be pretty good friends afterwards.
What fights are you talking about?
Fights in like the 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, because at a certain point, I was just like, I'm too old for this shit. And then
And you were in 6th grade?
yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like when I went to junior high and then in like ultimately in high school.
Oh, okay, you were like that.
Yeah. At some point,
can
I'm
think.
just like, no, it's childish shit. I'm not.
I didn't know you fought in 6th grade. Who'd you fight?
I fought a kid named James and Alex. They were the ones that I mostly butted heads with. They were like little cholo kids, and they were picking on me because I was fat.
James what?
Flores.
I know James Flores.
Yeah, I think everybody knew James Flores. And then when I saw him again in high school, because I don't know if he was around in junior high. He may have been like in a correctional facility. When I saw him again in high school, I was like, dude, James! Like, I was like super excited because I was like, last time I saw you, we were cool. He was at lunch.
Please,
and he was-
don't talk to me.
And he was surrounded with like a couple of other cholo kids. And there was this little tiny one. He came up to me like, who the fuck are you? You know, he was like mad dogging me and all this shit. And I just didn't give a fuck. I was looking at James and I was like, dude, how? And I was genuinely asking him questions like, where have you been? How have you been? It's good to see you. You look like you're taking care of yourself. Like, I was being really nice to him because I missed him. I was like, I hadn't seen you in years. And then like these other kids were just like, who the fuck's this guy, man? Walking up to you like that essay? You know, that type of shit. And James just kind of looked at me and was like, you know, he had an
Don't
image
do
to
me like that,
he
bro.
had an image to uphold.
Yeah.
But I didn't care. And he you know, he kind of gestured like, all right, y'all chill out, man. Like, this one's cool. And then I shook his hand and I was like, it's really good to see you again. And then I just walked away.
Did he answer your questions, or he was like, "Don't come up to me like that, bro"? It's
No,
not like
I don't
that
think
anymore.
I don't think he gave me an answer, but it was just like, you know, I've been around. It's been a general answer, you know, that answered nothing. But I didn't care.
you
I
need
just
to
wanted
beat
to.
it.
I just wanted to know that he was okay, cholo or not. I don't know.
Alex was that little skinny.
At the time, and then he got doughy.
Yeah.
As time grew up, and I want to say he's either a security guard or a cop. Last time I saw him.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his last name? That Alex?
Yeah, him and James used to be like real chummy. But I got into fights with both of them. And
James
then,
was like a little light skin, right?
at the time, yeah. And then as junior high and whenever he got darker.
That's funny. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know you fought them.
Is that not how it works for women?
No.
Y'all just hate each other for life.
Oh, totally.
Oh my god.
Hey, I love you. God, I fucking hate her.
Yeah. But other women that I'm not close with, I don't.
Yeah, screw those catty bitches.
I'm not fancy with them.
Okay. Last altercation that you got into, Sarah.
Physical?
Yeah, have you ever been into a physical fight?
No.
Oh.
But there's this one girl I will fight if I see her. And I'm okay with it being my first fight. Especially now since I've done boxing.
Okay.
And it was at work.
She
So
works with
she
you
works
now
with you.
or before?
No, that bitch got fired.
Okay. Let's call her Martha.
No, I'll call her by her name. I don't give a shit.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's gonna fight her.
And she doesn't work with us anymore. I don't care. Her name was Siobhan.
Okay.
I fucking hate that name now because of her.
Okay.
What did she do for you to hate her so much that you'd fight her right now?
She just automatically assumed that I was being a bitch to her when it was just absolute misunderstandings twice. And when we're working together, I'll be cordial. I don't have to talk to you, but we'll be cordial.
Yeah.
And that's all I've done. So one morning she comes in. I don't hear her say good morning. So I was like, hey. And I thought she walked away. But then she's down the hall. She says, hi. Like, it looked like you were on the phone and you didn't answer me. So then I go to the back and I try and tell her something. And she has all the cabinet doors open, just fucking wide open. She doesn't want to close them ever. She was just a slob. Anyway, so then I go to tell her something. She says pretty much like, oh, now you're okay with talking to me. You know, I said hello to you this morning. I said, yeah, I said hello back. It looked like you were on the phone though. And so then we were fine. So then it just started from there.
Okay.
So then what led to the big blowout, I really need to learn to just let go. I'm going to die a very early death because I keep holding on to this stuff.
No.
But
Sarah.
but maybe I just need to fight her. I don't know. So anyway, I can't remember what happened, but it was embarrassing enough because Marcella was having what we call a practice massage with a potential hire. And they were going to use my room. So I'm sitting up at the front desk. Marcella is on the phone. Siobhan is yelling over me to get her attention while she's on the phone. So I'm being cordial. I'm saying, hey, what's up? She says, I wasn't talking to you. Well, I didn't say anything. I just reacted. And so she saw it. So
She said, excuse me?
No. But she saw me just, whatever.
No.
You
then
rolled
she
your eyes.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So then she finally gets Marcella's attention after she hangs up the phone and asks her something and whatever. So this poor guy's waiting. So Marcella can finally take him back. She says, hey, I'm going to use your room. I said, okay. And I always leave it the way I'm supposed to. She comes back to me and she says, hey, why is your table wet? I said, what do you mean? So I thought we had a leak because in one of the other rooms we had just fixed, it had a bad leak.
Oh.
So I go in my room. She says, oh, this was totally Siobhan. And I love Marcella, but she can spread gossip like wildfire.
There's
just-
people that do that.
That's just what
all
she's
the
good
time,
at.
yeah.
But she was not wrong. There was just no way she was wrong. So I go in there and I look to the guy and I said, I'm so sorry. This is absolutely embarrassing. And I walk out and I start to cry because I'm just at this point frustrated to the point of tears. And so the girl that was covering the front at that time, she says, hey, honey, are you okay? I said, I just need to get into work. So then I'm trying to work, but Marcella comes out and she has like this chuckle on her face. She's chuckling. I said, and what are you going to do about this? I'm literally raising my voice at her. I said, what are you going to do? And I pretty much told her, I quit. After my shift today, I'm not coming back. If she's working here, I'm not coming. And she says, you're not being serious. I said, fuck yes, I am.
Oh, Sarah.
It's like, don't. I hate that.
I'm not
question
coming
me.
back after my shift today. And then she's like, oh,
Don't
Sarah.
fucking question me like that. Because I've heard it on more than one occasion. Oh, you're so cute when you're angry. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Fuck
Dude, when
you.
you're legit angry and someone's telling you that?
You come off like Sally when she's genuinely pissed at me.
She looks adorable.
Yeah.
So anyway, oh, one of my other therapist friends, she calls out sick. And
No, it's
so
fine.
we move her requests, which when you have a gold star, that's a request. We move them over to Siobhan. And we forget to take off the gold stars. So I go to do that for one or two of them. And so she comes out and she says, she only asks Marcella. She says, who took off my gold stars? I said, oh, I did. Because they didn't request you. Those were Patricia's clients. And she says, there you go, taking away something that's mine. Blah, 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 blah. And I raised my voice again. I started yelling. I said, and I started banging on the desk. I said, these weren't your clients. They did not ask for you. You stupid bitch. Like, they weren't yours to begin with. You were just backup. You're nothing. So then I said, oh, this client wasn't yours either. Let me take off that gold star too.
So you get the gold stars if they request you, and so she was like, "Why are you taking them off? If I like nobody would even know, except you decided to take it upon." And you're like, "Well, they didn't request you. It's what's right."
Well, so then Marcella, trying to, I don't know, get her 2 cents in, she says, "Oh, well, I do that too sometimes. I just forgot to do that." I said, "No, Marcella, this is me." And so then Siobhan says, "Can I have that ability to do that? I want to take off some gold stars." Which is like, fuck you. Like,
take them off, Siobhan. If they don't ask for me, take them off.
Yeah, go ahead. You're beneath me.
Wow.
And I genuinely don't like to think that of people, but she is beneath me. So
I love the you are nothing.
She is nothing.
Dude, I'm gonna make that a text tone. She's nothing. I love it.
So then she's mouthing off some more, and she's walking down the hall, but mouthing. I said, "Fuck you."
Oh, God.
And she says, "Go outside after work and tell me fuck you." I said, "Fuck yeah, I will. Bring it on then." So, then I point to Marcella and I said, "What the fuck are you going to do now?" It just keeps escalating. So then the end of the story is she finally fired her. But then the girl had nerve to try to file for unemployment. None of her information was ever right. Her baby daddy was trying to collect or have her claim medical or whatever. Anyway, she was just all kinds of back-ass words and trying to be shady. So then months later, she has the nerve to message Marcella and say, "Oh, I'm way better off than any of those other therapists are, and I'm making a ton of more money. And you're going to get what's coming to you. Like, karma's really going to pay one on you." I hate that cunt. I fight her in public.
Wow.
I mean...
And, it's going to happen at the mall or something. And I'm going to have no idea what's happening. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, hell no. And then shoulder bag hits the ground, and then Sarah's just, pew! And all I see is a dust cloud in the shape of Sarah. And I'm like, Sarah? And I go to touch it, and it dissolves. And I'm like, where the fuck did she... And then there's a cat fight over by the fountain.
And that's also a dust ball of, like, a bunch of...
an
hands,
arm, a head.
And then you're like, Sarah, and then now you're in there too, and then we see your head and your glasses, and you're like, ah.
So I've been in a verbal altercation, quite a few, but never physical.
Manuel, when was the last type of verbal or physical altercation you were a part of?
Physical? It's been
or verbal.
Long verbal? I mean, God. I don't know. I don't.
As I think about it, I think the last one that I had was at Grocery Supply, and it was a guy named Joshua Winobi. I
love the first and last name. Now we're just
he had
raw.
I don't know what his deal was. He was much bigger than me. He was like this big, and he played football. He had to have played football for whatever reason from day one that I started there, and maybe he started after me. But the first time that he saw me, he zoned in on me, and I was like I'm a tiny guy, and I was much smaller then too.
He was gonna show you who was alpha.
Yeah, he was gonna just like pick on me for whatever reason, but. I think at that time I'm like 27 and he's like 22. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I went through all that in high school and junior high. I'm a grown man now. Like, I don't care, especially I'm not going to be bullied by someone younger than me. Like, that's not happening. I don't care how big he is.
I hope there's a fuck you like in Sarah's story.
There was this, he would come to me and always like try to ask me obvious questions that he knew the answers to. And so I would be like, oh yeah, this. Well, okay, but what about this? And I'm like, well, don't worry about that. Worry about this. Here's your, and it just started that way. And then he would move his machine to get in the way of me and my progress of me doing whatever I'm doing. And it eventually got to the point where I just dreaded going down an aisle with him because I knew he was going to do something to impede my progress. And it had gotten to the point where he would do that to impede my progress, but he's also in a Barrett machine, which is a really long pallet jack. And so he's impeding my progress, but he's also blocking the other lane of traffic. So other selectors are being affected by this. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, I need to count whatever this stuff is. Why don't you move? Because you've already grabbed what you needed to grab. Now you're pissing off these 4 other guys. And they don't, like, I know you're trying to fuck with me, but you shouldn't be messing with them. And I always outsmarted whatever he was trying to do. And I just dreaded, like, God damn it, he's going to make a scene at some point. And it got to the point where when they had a new hire of inventory control, I forget what her name was. She genuinely had potential, and she seemed to really like doing or being my shadow and me teaching her all this stuff. The moment that he saw that I was teaching somebody, he came and he said, you don't want to be under Nick or something. And he started like talking down to me. She's looking around like, who the fuck are you? You came out of nowhere. And like, where's Nick? Like, I think I had gone to go pick up something. And I came back and I'm like, what is this about? And then she goes, I don't know what. He just kind of walked up and started talking about you. And I'm like, dude, what do you want? Like, do you have a bill? Usually when they complete a bill, they have to go pick up another bill.
Do you have business here?
Yeah, I'm like, are you selecting something? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, then you need to get going because I could call the front desk and they can give you a bill. Like, I will tell them you ain't doing shit and they will assign something to your headset. And he was like, no, man, you gotta be, I just want to talk to her. I'm like, yeah, her name is blah. You know, I forget what her name was. And I was like, her name is this. That's all you need to know. She's going to be inventory control. And that's just the end of it. And so when he would leave, I was like, I told her, I said, I don't want you to talk to him because what you just saw is how he is. I don't know if he's like that with anybody else. I said, but I have reason to believe that he's only like that towards me. And through proxy, he's probably going to do something like that to you. He's also probably going to try to harass you. I don't know if it'll go to sexual, but he will harass you because you're associated with me.
It's like, yeah, he put his hand on my left hip
just
as he was talking about you.
Oh, God. Thankfully, it never got to that point. It did get to a point where he had caught me on the wrong day because, you know, towards the end, I really hated my job. And
I remember.
And it got into like a verbal altercation. And I was well out of the way of the lanes of traffic. And he was blocking people. And he started causing a scene because he was in the way of people. And everyone was just honking. And I'm just standing there. And all this honking is just escalating. And it's in front of the front desk. And they can see it. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just standing there like, this is all because of you. Why don't you just move along and everyone can go about their way? And it got to a point where I told managers, I said, something needs to happen. Y'all need to stop this because this is getting out of control.
It has escalated.
I was like, it's escalated to the point where now he's putting like his hands on my little machine that I work on. And I said, at some point, he's going to do something to me. And I don't want to be the first one to do something physical. And they said, we'll take care of it. About a month passes. He starts up again. And now it's to the point where he actually stepped off of his machine onto my machine. And he grabbed me like above my elbow, but under my shoulder and my arm. And he grabbed me and he says, I don't know what it is about you, Nick, but you need to loosen up and you need to fucking get laid. And I had my pencil and I thought for a moment, I was like, I already hate this job. He's a big reason why. I could just stab him in the neck.
With your pencil.
And what's the worst that could happen? Well, there's a lot of bad stuff that could happen from that. But I'm like, I would take him down with me though. And then he just like let me go and he drove off. And I was like, the next person that says something to me, like they're probably going to get punched at the very least. If like my next beat is I need to go to the managers and tell them what just happened. And I thought, hopefully I don't get intercepted by anyone because I will punch somebody if the next person I see is not a manager. I made it to a manager and there were two of them. They were like talking about something. I snapped and I was like, you in that fucking office right now. And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, get in here. Go in there. And I said, about a month ago, we had a talk about this guy. What did you do about it? And he says, yeah, we did. And I was like, yeah. And now it's back. And I said, I want you to get on the goddamn cameras about 2-3 minutes ago. I was like, right here in front of this thing right here. I told him the station. I was like, I need you to pull up the fucking cameras and do this because now it's to the point where he put his hands on me. And they went and he looked at the footage and he was like, you know, he's blocking me when he steps onto my machine. He can't even see me anymore. And he goes, what did he do? I said, he grabbed me by the arm and he told me, and I said, quote, what he told me. I said, and then he steps on his machine and he leaves. And then they watch the footage and then like 30 seconds, I'm standing on my machine just thinking, what am I doing? And I'm telling him, I'm like, this is what I'm thinking right now. And then I make a beeline to the manager's office and like, okay, this is serious. I said, if he does anything to me, something will happen physically to one of us and it's not going to be pretty. And they're like, okay, we'll take care of that. And then I think they had like reassigned him to something. He didn't get fired. And
he
I don't
still
know.
works there now and he's assistant manager.
I don't know. For all I know, he's got corona. He may have started this whole thing.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. So that was probably the last time that, I was in some sort of verbal altercation with somebody.
So I wasn't. I feel like I gotta share now something. Damn, those stories, dude. I love the fuck you down the hallway.
Fuck that bitch, I swear.
Fuck you.
Because she thinks, to this day, she probably. No, I know she thinks.
She probably blames
that she
you.
is better than everyone else.
Okay.
And that karma will never touch her. Bitch, you better fucking watch out.
Do you think it could be a lashing out type of thing? That maybe,
I don't fucking care.
No,
okay,
bro,
well,
that's
yeah.
not an excuse.
Fuck her.
If you're in a position like that, that's the last way you should be, like, really acting or making people. But that comes from her childhood. Her parents failed her.
Maybe she just thought from there I was just this weird quirky girl or something like that. But I don't know. Anyway.
I want to know how she felt. Like, I was like, yeah, oh, Sailor Moon at? Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know.
Sailor Moon girl?
I mean, I know nothing about Siobhan. I don't know what color she is, how she, anything, but
But this Joshua guy, he was trying to bully, right?
Yeah, bro, that kind of got under my skin a little bit. They're like, dude, once he put his hands on you, like, that's your green light. Maybe not to stab him in the neck, but
It was there,
Yeah.
and it was an option.
I wish Rosa was around for that time because I would be like, hey, dude, come here. You gay?
oh my gosh.
Oh, how cute. You know how I fucking know, dude? Because I see you be looking at him and shit. You all up on him and shit.
Damn. He's like, no, I'm not. No.
Dude, do you know? I have no idea how many times, like, when you take away all the drama, it wasn't a bad place to work, especially financially. But I did hear that there were a lot of guys that thought if you pissed off Nick, that's something that you might regret because he might be little. But the thing is that he's always in a good mood. Like if you could catch him, like how many times have you seen Nick mad? I mean, sure, we've seen him like serious because he's rushing around. He's like, but if you go and say hello to him, he'll say hi, and he's automatically happy. And they're like, if you piss him off, there's something there. Like he might stick you somewhere, and it ain't gonna be pretty.
The cameras saw you stick a person in a box, and you stapled the box shut.
And you wrote in a crayon, Japan.
You know that's not how labels work, right? There's no way this box is making it to Japan. But we just want to know why you did it.
Shrug shoulder emoji. I don't know.
When I was working at Dish, I didn't have a violent thing other than some people trying to get back at me by blowing out the back of my window in my car. I was a supervisor, and I was one of the most hated supervisors because I followed the rules, and I just didn't. There was no slack. Like I was like, "This is what it is," Black
you were
and white.
the man.
Black and white, and that got me to the position that I was, and so on and so on. But one of the guys who was really mad was kind of lined up with three other ones that got in trouble, and they followed me to my house, found out where I lived, and then blew out the back of my camera was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
And they shot a potato gun with a rock and blew out the back of my window. But that was, I wasn't awake or anything. I woke up because of it. But I was not like physically in a fight or in danger.
So how did you just figured out it was them?
So at first I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like I just woke up, my alarm's going off, called the police, reported it, whatever, But eventually the talking started.
They were like, "Hey, man."
What is it called?
Like, how's the wind chill in your car?
No, not directly. They would do it to other people. Eventually, it got around to me. And then the girlfriend that was with him at the time, she had a crush on me. So she eventually just came out and told me. She was like, "Do you remember this?" "Yeah, it was him." I was like, "I know." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just confirming. Like, it was him. This is the plan. This is what they did."
Yeah.
And I was like, "So you've known?" And she's like, "Yeah, but, at the time I couldn't." I was like, "Yeah." But no, I actually want to share a different story.
Okay.
So when I was at Dish, I don't know if you guys have ever had something like this happen, but I was a supervisor at the time, and I had 25 to 30 agents, and that's a lot of people, right? And a lot of personality. So I dealt with like the young ones. I had a nice sweet old lady, a few of them, 2 or 3 of them. They're on the phone, they're talking. It was a couple guys, whatever, but I had this lady, and since we're saying first and last names, her name was Sandra Alonso, and she used to hang out with like this very introverted girl who didn't really talk to anybody, and when she would talk to me, she'd kind of like whisper. I've met a lot of people there. She's very interesting because she was very shy, but she would talk to Sandra, and Sandra would talk to me a lot.
Okay.
Come to find out that people are very nosy. You know how people are, especially when you are in a position where you're the supervisor and people want to know about you. I had no pictures of kids because I don't have any kids. I didn't have a girlfriend, so I didn't people knew nothing about me other than what the car I drove, and obviously I worked there.
Okay.
And I wouldn't talk to anybody, so nobody knew anything about me. Well, this lady, Sandra, was able to convince the shy introverted girl that Sandra and I had a relationship, and this went on for like a year. She told her that she'd go to my house and that we would play games and we would do stuff. That the way I found out was Jessica told me one day, hey, Sandra and I are going to do this. Are you going to meet us there? And I was just like, why would I do that? And it's like, I don't know. I thought she said she told you yesterday. And I was like, no. When she told me, we weren't even at work. She was at your house. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said she was at your house. She wasn't at your house. And I was like, no, she's never been to my house. What are you talking about? Why would she be at my house? Y'all aren't dating? And I was like, I don't know her like that. Like, there's zero interaction with Sandra and I outside of this job.
Huh.
Bro, she like almost fell over. She like sat down on the chair. She just stayed quiet. And she was like, what do you mean? And then
her whole world was flipped, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? And so then she started telling me all of the stuff that Sandra and I had done over the last year.
Dang.
And this other life I had.
Wow. And he's like, and they had pictures to back it up.
No,
right?
no. And then I would think back to certain things Sandra would say on her way out to me. Yeah. With her that didn't make any sense, and I would just be like, okay, or like laugh it off, or like, I'm busy, whatever, you know. But that's what it was like. That's what somebody built a life around certain little comments she would make on her way out.
Wow, that's pretty intense. Really, you had something like that happen to you?
Sort of. A manager was telling people that we had sex, but we didn't. And it's like, you're a manager.
And you're just like openly talking like that?
Yeah. But so at the time I was just like, I don't care. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Yeah. At the time. And that was also the same mentality I took to the dealership that I worked at.
But did others believe it?
They probably did.
Would he make comments that kind of would like be like it's like a joke to you, but to him it was like you were validating?
So like if he were to put like his hand on my waist because he was bending down to get something from a cabinet below, I was just like, I don't fucking care. But if anybody were to see it, they'll probably be like, oh.
That's right. That validates what he's been saying. That's right. He's able to do that, and she doesn't care because he does much more after work.
So what was messed up was, so I did have a crush on this guy. And
wow.
This was a guy I actually spoke to David about, and I was getting some dude advice. And I said, hey, I'm kind of attracted to this guy. He's not going to work there anymore. He's actually moving or whatever. What should I do? He says, just ask him. Like, ask him to hook up. He says, the worst thing that he can say is no. And so years later, I finally told David, like, hey, that's actually what happened, if you remember. And he did. So it was a funny little catch-up story. So I did end up asking him, like, hey, would you want to hook up? He's like, nah, no. I'm like, oh, okay. But
what's the worst? Yeah.
But this was the only reason I'm thinking it happened, like, I did that first. Then he started telling everyone, like, hey, we hooked up. It's like, why would you... It just didn't make sense to me. Why would you lie about hooking up with someone? Wouldn't you want the credibility of actually doing it, then go brag about it?
So he lied about you guys hooking up, but then when it was like, hey, you want to hook up? He was like, no.
I think I asked him first, and then he went around telling... But do you know what? I truly don't remember. So I was just like...
Okay, that's weird.
That's like
me actually saying, Sandra, I like you. Do you want to go out? And she's like, no. She just made up a life about us, and now I'm asking you out, and you're like, no.
Right. So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So then when I started working at the dealership, I would hang out with this manager, totally platonic. I wasn't attracted to this guy. He was a bit rugged for me. And we would go run errands together. And he says, you know, people are going to think we're hooking up. I said, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd rather somebody go with me somewhere so I'm protected than me go by myself.
Yeah.
guys were ballsy at the dealership. I don't know if it's the same at your job or
Guys are
whatever.
ballsy all the
But
time.
quite a few of them, well, one was respectable. He asked if he could kiss me. The other one actually just tried to. I'm like, nope.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is...
Dude, and this was way before I even considered sexual harassment. I was just like, okay, dude, calm down.
Dude.
God damn it. Well, that was also a different time. That shit would not fly today.
No.
You just put your cell phone out, start pointing at them. That's right. You're live. You're live right now.
It's like, I'm sorry y'all think I'm a slut, but y'all about to find out that I'm not.
Thanks, babe.
Please, thanks, bye.
Please, thanks, bye.
Oh, man. In the time that we were gone, Invader Zim had debuted 19 years ago in 2001.
Yay.
It's a long time ago. Also, the other day, like literally like 2 days ago, the original Ninja Turtles movie turned 30 years old.
30, huh?
And then 25 years ago, Selena passed away.
Ain't that something? March 31st, 1995, 25 years ago, Selena was taken from us. He just starts bawling.
Yeah.
Nintendo is reportedly planning to re-release much of Mario's back catalog this year on the Switch to celebrate his 35th anniversary. Some of the rumored games include Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and 3D World, as well as a new entry in the Paper Mario series. So there you go. Can you imagine? Mario 64 remastered? Woo, girl. Oh, girl.
What other games? Yeah, that's awesome. But I heard something about that, like on the Switch or something.
Yeah.
What other games? Or several.
The top ones right now are Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Galaxy, and Mario 3D World.
Okay.
And then
Galaxy would be fun.
then a brand new Paper Mario. You liked Mario Galaxy?
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual Galaxy game.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy.
The arcade game. Not Mario, but isn't there a game called Galaxy?
Probably.
Galactica.
Galactica. Sorry.
Galaga?
That's
Galaga?
what I meant.
I don't know. It's an arcade game and it was fun and looked like Galaxy.
Then yeah, it's
It was Galaga.
Galaga.
Galaga. Oh, okay. My bad.
Totally unrelated to Mario.
See, she needed a little help. I helped, and then I need more help, and you helped.
So these are all Mario games.
Yeah, these are all because it's his 35th anniversary this year.
Oh.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the Selena movie is still not been put on Blu-ray.
That's your complaint.
Like, why not?
That's his takeaway.
Why has it not? It has a 2-disc DVD version. I don't know why, but why
Are
has
you
it gotten
sure
a
it's
Blu-ray
not
release?
on Blu-ray?
Yes.
Because you've...
I have looked. Because, like periodically after every couple of years, I would look again. I'm like, surely by now someone's put it on Blu-ray. Nope. Why? La Bamba is. The Buddy Holly story is. And like all the other movies that chronicle artists, musicians like Ray, Walk the Line, they're on Blu-ray. Why isn't
So
Selena?
Walk the Line and La Bamba seem like I could find those in Maine. The state Maine.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So, but if I went to Maine and asked people about Selena, would they care?
I don't know.
That's the difference.
Well, I mean,
It's only us Texans.
people
that
who care about Jennifer Lopez's movie catalog. I mean, come on. If you have every J-Lo movie ever made, but not Selena on Blu-ray, like, come on.
Which is her best movie.
But it's a, but it's about.
I don't know. Anaconda's pretty up there.
But
Shut up.
Selena, but Selena is not on the map. The Selena movie is not on the map because of J Lo. It's because
No,
of
it's because of Selena. But it was a baby J-Lo doing her thing. We should write the people who own the rights to Selena and be like, what are y'all doing?
So pretty much write her family.
Put the thing on Blu-ray.
Right to her
from
family.
the Six Ad Cast desk.
No, I'm sure it has nothing to do with her family. I'm sure it's the movie studio thinking, why would we put this movie on Blu-ray? I mean, 25 years ago, that's an anniversary edition Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Restore it, do some color corrections, clean the movie, and just put
Upscale
it.
to HD. That's
Yeah.
gonna be hard, bro.
I mean, but it can
Just
be,
redo the movie
but it could be wow.
Ew.
with J Lo.
No. What she would have been.
It's
Aw.
Selena too. It's like, but she died at the end. Oh, there's a time machine. Of course.
Of course.
And guess what? They're in space.
Oh God, Sarah, don't be dumb.
Where would you get an idea?
Why wait
like
till
that?
the fourth movie? Make it the second.
This is all of it together. They're in the hood too.
Oh my gosh. Manuel, what is the Instagram account or Twitter account that we have?
What is our handle?
Our handle is @6adcast.
Okay.
All across the board.
For Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, for Instagram and Twitter, it's the same.
Okay. And Sarah, what is that email that if anyone wanted to write us and tell us any stories of...
Oh.
Did they even play those paranormal games?
What is
Who knows?
it? 6adcast@gmail.com.
Okay, there you go. Anything else that you guys want to write into us, just go ahead and send us anything that you want us to talk about. We'll look
Did you know
into
they
it.
can send us money to 6adcast@gmail.com?
You can send money in an email?
Through Gmail, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like Google Pay, you mean?
You can, yeah. It's tied to that, yeah.
So, since you once brought up the puppetry
Mm-hmm.
of Illuminati,
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice these symbols or this. But, so of course I sent you a picture of one. Who did that?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. But then yesterday we were watching the iHeartRadio couch concert.
Yeah.
And of course, Backstreet Boys were on. And at the very end, of course, AJ melodied out. And he did this. I was like, dude, puppet. But I was like, no, I love you. I'm sorry.
I guarantee you it's not I love you.
No,
I
it's
guarantee
I love
you.
Yeah, now
okay?
she's noticing that a lot more everywhere. Like,
It-
I didn't
it-
even notice Becky did it. And then she was like, oh my God, that's a puppet. I was
No,
like, what?
they're signaling. But for wrestlers, they're personas, right? And so this is so popular that people just do it to mimic what other people are signaling. So it's confusing in wrestling whether it's like they're being used or not.
Yeah.
But she did rise to power really fast.
Oh my God.
It's all because of Vince, okay?
Yeah.
But no, this is I love
but-
you. I'm sorry.
And again, I'll tweet what Sarah's talking about with the I love you sign.
Okay. So next week, we're going to go ahead and share some personal stories about weird exes that we had. And of course, we'll cover a couple of other weird stories. I'll go out and I'll find something and, yada, yada. But that will be something that you can learn more about us and our histories and all that. We are real people. We're not just puppets. And yeah,
But maybe we are.
And we had previous relationships and some of them didn't work out. I mean, obviously, none of them worked out because
God.
where we are now. So we'll share some of our weird relationship stories next week on the show. But until then, his name was Manuel. Her name was Sarah. My name was Nick. Bye.
Bye.